what Dr. King is saying from as he's rising up from his grave and saying what those people were beaten in the South were whipped. I was watching something with Nelly, the artist, on, and the guy was saying, "Well, you know about the Klan or what?" He said, "Well, it ain't no Klan. It's no Klan. You go to Pennsylvania and you go to the darkest side of Pennsylvania at night. Let me tell you, there is a Klan." But people of his generation don't even know that they exist. You're not in the backwoods of Atlanta. You're not in the back. You don't know what's going on in Pennsylvania or other parts. Baton Rouge, all the Alabama. You don't know. Yes, there is a Klan, and maybe if they don't call it a Klan, they call it another type of meeting. But what do you think? What do you think the Proud Boy meetings are about? Oh no, we don't call it Klan, but we now call it a nice name called the Proud Boys. So what do you think the Proud Boys are talking about? Erasing black people, taking over, committing what is insurrection. Oh, but they're not called the Klan, but they are anti-racist, erase our history, all of that. But when I'm listening to a Nelly, and I remember I was listening to what's the other guy's name, Ice Cube, one time. He said, "You can call me nigga, but don't call me some other word." He said, "Don't call me a bitch or whatever, but you can call me a nigga." Oh, really? Because you don't know when they really were calling you nigga. They had a whip, they had a chain, they beat the shit out of you calling you nigga. Y'all are this generation is sanitized. And let me tell you what, that's why I'm on this air. That's why I want this to go out. Because I'll be darned if I'm going to forget what my mother went through. We'll be darned if my generation is going to forget what has happened in our lifetime. My grandmother had to sit with in her small cabin that they were in with the father, and they had to have a gun inside because the Klan was running by. I'd be damned if this generation is going to force us because these people want to erase our history. But I am not, from my mother's soul, I am not erasing her history of going upstairs in a theater because she wasn't allowed to go downstairs with white people. I'm supposed to erase that. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But let me tell you something, millennials, whatever you want to say, I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to understand our history, don't expect us to forget. You might want to forget. My young people that are here, they might want to forget. I have a niece that just likes playing all the time. That's all she does. She doesn't want anything serious. Her brother, who is 9 or a little less than 7 years old, said to me, Donald Trump wants to change Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. And we were discussing that. So I was looking at my phone and I was trying to get him. I said, here's what you do. Anything you need to know, you have to look up the history. So look up the history of the Gulf of America, of Gulf of Mexico. Look up that history. Then once you understand the history and how it all came about, like Mexicans and Spanish were in California, they were all here, but they gave it up. But they were here first. Know what the history is, because you're not just erasing the history. Say, okay, you can't deal with the history, but you're erasing the history of real people that suffered. Young people, you're erasing history of people that suffered, brutally raped, beaten. Think about, and I want to put this up, not the nice picture of Emmett Till. I want the picture of him in that casket. And when I do this, I'm going to put his picture up, and I'm going to put his picture up of hangings, because I want you to understand out there that this is serious. We were dragged through the street, raped and beaten, brutally terrorized. Couldn't get out the house.